Welcome to the Men Set podcast. Looks a little bit different today. It's just me. My fellow host Trent had a few things come up that he had to get taken care of, so hopefully he's back with us soon. Today I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to review this song that's went viral. I know I'm a little late to the party on it, but it's by Anthony Oliver called Men North of Richmond. And it's definitely an impactful song. It's touched a lot of people. A lot of people can relate to it from all walks of life. It definitely speaks to a lot of things that are going on in this world, and kind of like things that people know are going on, but nobody's really saying much about it, in the limelight. But this guy said everything. He put it all out there and sang it with a lot of heart and soul. And I wish I could play the video all the way through, beginning to end, to give it respect. But, the platform's rules and copyright laws and all that, I can't play it all the way through, so I do have to pause it. But when I pause it, I'm gonna kind of give a breakdown of each line that he says and my thoughts on it, and I'll give a little bit of background on him, and I'm gonna give all the credit I can to him in the description. I'll leave his social medias and all those types of things, so you guys can go find him. And you definitely need to listen to the song from beginning to end without pauses, because it's definitely impactful. So let's go ahead and get into it.
Well, I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away.
Yeah, so basically what he's saying is, it feels like he's selling his soul to make $1. He's working all these overtime hours, and it just seems like the pay's never enough. Like you said, bullshit pay. I feel like a lot of people feel that way these days. The pay's just not kept up with inflation, and our economy's just complete crap right now. And I keep telling people all the time, especially recently, that it's just we're constantly working for these companies. We work away, our entire lives. Next thing you know, we're in our 60s, 70s, 80s, and we're at the end of our rope. You used all your youth and everything else to work, and I'm not saying work's a bad thing, but when every single second of your life is revolved around your job, and you're spending more time at work than you're spending at home with your families and your friends, it takes a toll on you, and people are just sick of it. People are barely able to keep their head above water, and it's really quite sad that the world's come to that. Let's get back on it.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is.
Yeah, so it is crazy, what the world's gotten to now. Just society in general just went down the tubes, man. It's you got all this crazy crap with people wanting to change their sex at a young age and parents allowing it, and then these politicians just doing whatever they want with no consequence. And And then, like I was saying, the economy and inflation and everything else, it just seems like you can never get ahead in life.
Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul.
Living in a new world with an old soul. Man, I've talked about this for years and years and years. Even back when I was a teenager, I've always kind of felt like I was living in the wrong era. Even like the music I listened to growing up and to this day, I've always listened to old school music, along the lines of, people like Sade and Marvin Gaye and, then people like Merle Haggard, Waylon Jennings, Alice in Chains, just all different types of older music. But, which Alice in Chains ain't really that crazy old, but it was like 90s. But, yeah, it's just, and then as far as like my views on things, I've always kind of had more, traditional views. And, yeah, I always feel like I should have been born in a different era. Like, and I constantly say all the time with the way technology is involved and all that stuff, like, I feel like I kind of like almost like we need like a reset. Like, you always hear people say, I wish the asteroid would hit. But I think that, like, not so much in a catastrophic way, but to where it just kind of like set technology back a bit and we kind of go back to, more of a simple life. People have lost touch with reality. Social media has just become a poison for people. People are constantly on their phones and don't want to actually talk to people on the phone anymore. They rather just text for hours on end instead of hearing somebody's voice. And a lot of stuff gets misconstrued like that. There's a lot of context that's lost through text messages, but yeah, I just wish it would go back to how it once was.
These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end. 'Cause the rich men, 'cause the rich men.
And so he says, politicians, they want total control, and they do. They just pass whatever laws they want, and they don't care what we think. They'll lie to you so they can get your vote. But once they get in office, they don't actually do anything that they set out on their campaign or, told the American people that they're going to do. And this isn't just, for America. This is all over the world. That's why this song is blown up the way it has, is because it touches people from all over the world, because they're all dealing with this same bull crap, from the pay to the laws that are passed. It's not like they're doing this these politicians are doing this for their own benefit. They're not doing it because it benefits us. You know what I mean? They're doing it because it benefits, only the elite. And, like he said, they want to know what you do. I think he said something about know what you say or whatever. And, you'll be talking in your house to somebody, or talking anywhere for that matter. Next thing you know, you get on social media and there's advertisements that are pushed at you for the exact thing you just talked about. So they're constantly listening. And then you got the things like Roombas, and they're saying that all that stuff. Apparently, the Roombas can send audio to a database for the Chinese to listen in on everything you're saying. And not only that, they're getting maps of the layout of your house, obviously. So yeah, this stuff's getting crazy, man. They just want to track your every move. They want to know exactly what you're thinking at all times. They want complete and utter control. And then he said something about, dollar ain't shit. It's taxed to no end. And that's the truth, A dollar today is not what a dollar was, 3 years ago, even. Just 3 years ago. People are barely making bills. Every single bill that somebody has went up, since this inflation has went, sky high. People can't afford housing. And, like a 1,600 square foot house, for instance, I actually rented a 1,600 square foot house probably 7 years ago, maybe. Back then it was like, I want to say $800 or $850 a month. Now for a 1,600 square foot house, you're looking at $1,800, $2,000, $2,200 even, maybe even higher than that, depending on the area that you're in. People just can't even afford to live, man. It's just wild. I just don't even know, hopefully it fixes itself or someone comes in and fixes it. But it's not looking good right now, man. And it's scary for a lot of people.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere, Lord.
So he basically said, I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island somewhere. He's talking about he wishes politicians would look out for like coal miners, and he's not just talking about that in general. He's more so talking about, the working class or even the lower class, but even lower upper class, the money that they were making that was considered upper class, that's not upper class no more. They've been, pushed down to middle class, but even middle class isn't middle class anymore. Middle class is poor now. You know what I mean? We can't afford anything. But no matter what bracket you're in, and then, as far as the miners on an island somewhere, he's obviously talking about Epstein Island. They're more focused on getting their rocks off with, some young girl instead of actually worrying about what the world's problems are. These people are sick, man. They're absolutely sick, and it's disgusting. And something's got to be done about it. We still haven't received the actual full list of all the people that went to that island, and there's no telling, what other nefarious acts were going on there. You got Bill Clinton's picture when you first walk in of him in a dress. Obviously, that's some kind of blackmail. That wasn't just a ha-ha joke. You know what I mean? And obviously, now that we know what was going on there, most likely the blackmail behind it was, he was messing around with these young girls. I mean, that's just what it is. And nothing's been done about it. It's just gross, man. These people just are sick.
We got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
Yeah, so, it's true. You got all these homeless people in the streets now with nothing to eat. These politicians are so worried about, funding the war in Ukraine or funding anything, outside of what's actually going on here in America. We got so many issues over here, but they're more worried about taking care of other countries because they're all in bed together. I mean, that's what it comes down to. It really does. It's just complete bullshit, man. It's just crazy. And then you got homeless veterans, people that put their life on the line in wars, suffering from PTSD and, other mental health issues. And, nothing's being done. Nothing's being done to help them. It's just sick, man. We'd rather spend billions of dollars helping out in a war. And I understand there's people over there that are innocent and need some kind of aid. But, dude, we got to take care of us first. Us comes first. America comes first. Stop worrying about these other people. Let them worry about their own crap. We got our own issues over here. I'm just sick and tired of it, man. It's bull crap. And then, when I first heard this song, the very first time I heard it, I already knew this part was going to stir up a bunch of anger and people saying, it's racist or it's divisive and all this other stuff, and about, the people milking welfare and, in the grocery store, bags of fudge rounds, swiping their government assistance. And it's true. I mean, I've seen it to where people, had their carts full of steaks and lobster and stuff like that. And I don't know how it currently is, but as far as like what the restrictions are on it and everything else, if there even is any. But yeah, it's just crazy, man. And sure enough, it came out. People started, he's talking about a certain demographic of people and all this. And I understand some people need the assistance. Some people actually can't work. But when you have generations of families just milking the system because they can, and it's the easy way out, they never have to work a day in their lives. They're just milking the system. It's supposed to be for people that need it temporarily or people that are permanently disabled and can't work. That's what it's for. It's not to be abused. But the thing is, they're letting it be abused. The politicians are letting it be abused because they know if they're giving them this assistance, then they're probably going to get their vote. That's what it comes down to. It's all about getting their vote for them to stay in office. That's all it is. It's just complete crap, dude. It just pisses me off so much. And then he's talking about, people or men, putting themselves 6 feet in the ground. They're having to take that route or feel like they have to take that route because they just can't get their head above water. And the government just keeps coming in and just putting their foot on their head and just pushing them back down. Anytime that we think we're getting ahead in life, something else hits, and we're back drowning again. You're back drowning again. And that's why so many people relate to this song, because that's exactly how life is right now in this current time. All over the world, not just even America. It's all over the world. People are suffering, and it's time something is done about it. We got to stand up as human beings and fight for our right to live a good, healthy life. And that's another thing about a healthy life. You can't even, it's hard for people to even eat healthy. Healthy food is so expensive compared to what the junk food is. You can go to McDonald's and get a burger for $1, but a salad is going to cost you 10 times that amount. It's crazy, man. It's just crazy.
Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just want to have total control. Want to know what you think.
Just have to do a quick pause because of what I was talking about at the very beginning. But yeah, so real quick, a little bit about Oliver Anthony. The guy lives in Farmville, Virginia, has 3 dogs on a plot of land, and he says he wants to turn it into a small cattle farm one day. You know, and by the way, the instrument he's using, it's actually a dobro, and some people call it a resonator guitar, but that's what's kind of giving it like that banjo-y sound, I guess. And you know, he's even stated in other videos that he's posted about this song that, you know, he's a super humble guy. You know, he says he's just an all right singer. He's not that great at guitar, and he says he's not that great of a songwriter and all this other stuff. But oh man, when you put out tunes like this, man, it doesn't. And singing with your soul the way he is, people are gonna relate. You know, they see the realness in it, the real raw truth behind everything he's saying.
Wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men north of Richmond. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
I like how he ends the song with, you know, what he said at the very beginning to, you know, reaffirm basically what, you know, you're slaving your life away, man. And I tell people all the time, don't get complacent with working this one job your whole life. Because for one, you never know when that could come to an end. You know, you always need some kind of backup plan. You know, I've started a bunch of little small businesses that I run, and you know, you got to have that backup plan at all times. And, you know, I suggest, you know, starting a business of some sort, or working for 20 years at a company and using the money you've saved up through retirement plans, which I'm not necessarily a big fan of 401ks, you know, but and then use that money to roll over into creating a business and starting a business. And I know everybody's not, you know, business savvy or entrepreneur type, but, you know, you got to learn about investing, how to invest your money so you can get out of this rat race that everybody's living in. You don't want to be a slave your whole life to these corporations. They'll just suck the life out of you, man. And like I was saying, next thing you know, you're at the end of your life. You know, you didn't even get to enjoy it. You may have had small experiences here and there, but, you know, I think a big reason that we're here on this earth is to enjoy it, make the best of it. But I'll play out the last 7 seconds of the song. But yeah, I mean, you can just see the emotion in him. He's just fed up with, all the crap going on in this world and nobody being held accountable for it. Something's got to happen. It's got to come to an end. We gotta stand up. Stop letting these people run our lives. Got to get out there and do the damn thing, man. But I think it's crazy though, because he's actually turned down now multiple record deals, and including one that was for $8 million. He said he doesn't want to be in the spotlight. Says he doesn't want to perform in big stadiums and doesn't want all the fancy tour buses and doesn't want to be in all the flashy lights and all that stuff. He just wants to basically tour and do small venues, and he wants to listen to the people. He said, a few different times that he wants to hear people's stories. He wants to hear what everybody's going through. And he said he made this song for, the working people, people that are struggling. He was dealing with alcoholism, and, he was talking about putting himself 6 feet under the ground, and fell down to his knees and, asked God to help him pursue his dream of music. And he said he felt a hand on his shoulder, and it pushed him to write this song. And even when you listen to, some of his other songs, a lot of what he sung about in this song is dispersed among the other songs. So this guy's not like, it's not like this just randomly came about. He's been thinking about this stuff for some time. You know what I mean? So, and he just finally all put it together in one song, and it went viral because it connected with so many people. I mean, this is this guy's real thoughts and concerns with what's going on in the world. And he's absolutely right about every single thing he said. People may not agree with certain parts of the song, but it is what it is. What he said is 100% the truth. There's nothing false or fake about it. But yeah, other than that, like I said, I hope my fellow host Trent gets back with us soon, and we'll have another episode out for you next week. And like I've said on the previous episodes, don't forget to like, subscribe, follow on whatever platform you're listening on. It's going to help us grow and get the word out there. And we eventually want to have the panels of guests on and all that stuff, and live chats to where we can ask, or you guys can ask us questions and we can answer them live. Other than that, we'll see you next time.